You guys ready? So I'm the one with the cold heart, as most people would say when they get their camera. But you should be able to see me in there, the red, orange, and yellow guy. So I'm the warmest thing inside the video. If you were a bridal party, I would be the hottest thing inside the video right now. So it still works. But anyway. The wife hates that damn joke, by the way. She really does. But at any rate, so we're looking for cold spots, which are going to be blue and black, just like Carson said. So those blue and black spots, I want them to either take shape or to start moving on their own. We're always going to have some kind of cold spot in reference, because glass is colder than normal temperatures and things like that. But when I say take shape, I want heads, shoulders, moving arms, and legs. You guys are getting my point. So when we do find something with this guy, which is probably about half a dozen to 8 times a year, it is a holy shit moment. I'm just going to put it out there. Like, it's a holy cow, how the hell did we miss that in real time? So the cool thing for you guys is with this video, there's a blue dot that's bouncing around the screen. That blue dot is showing you the coldest spot in the frame at that particular moment. So it's there to help guide your eye. I'm looking for 15-degree temperature drops. The ambient temperature for us tonight is 71 degrees. I'm looking for 56 and below out of those ambient spots. Might not be a whole big blue area. It might just be that one blue dot where it's 56 or colder. That's definitely a weird anomaly for me to check into. So as great as this hardware is, because this is a FLIR, this is what firemen would use to actually help save people. The software sucks. So if we record for too long, we're going to lose footage. So I'm going to be giving Hannah cues to when to start and stop this video. So I'm going to stop the video recording, just so you have that idea. And it's obviously very easy. And nice slow movements. And we're going to start spreading about. Just stay away from in between vehicles. Do not go in front of vehicles. You guys get the point. I'm going to bounce around with all of you and see what's going on with your devices. I am going to stop Shelly and show her how to get to that word list. Have you had any numbers yet, Carson?
I had it up to my phone, I got 26.
So,
not really.
So you did test it. So
I did.
But yeah, let me definitely know 2.5 and higher. We've never had something in here by now by the time I'm talking about something like this. So just definitely keep an eye out, because you're going to know where all the hot spots are. So you're basically so
As it should be.
all right, so whenever I want to see the word list, you need to do
But that was after, a bit after.
Do you want to ask any questions about Eliza's death, and I'll listen for an answer?
Yeah. Eliza, how did you die? Eliza, are you here with us?
I'm here with you right now.
Are you lying?
No.
How old are you, Eliza? Eliza, can you stand in front of me?
Eliza, which president was your pallbearer? How old were you when you died, Eliza?
I was going to do the car first, but I didn't want to do it.
She said Victorian.
Like Victorian president?
She said
Is that the type of house she had?
Victorian era. How did you die, Eliza?
Eliza, what's your last name?
Put it back to the other.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Your surname?
Thank you.
She got the word STEM on there as well.
Yeah.
Why the life started.
I did that. Now we're on.
Earthquake. Have you heard anything yet? Is it popping up anything? Any noise at all?
I've heard nothing. Do I have it? How am I doing?
Do we look silly, Eliza?
No yes or no questions.
You got anything?
Eliza, how did you die?
All right, Amanda, what are you hearing out of that thing?
Well, she asked if Eliza was here, and I heard I'm right here.
Oh, that's a yes/no question. First off.
Yes. But then we asked, when did you die? And I heard Victorian. So I don't know if that has any relevance.
Victorian, I am right here.
Yeah. That's all I've heard so far. Unless, did I say something else?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you're getting the gist, obviously, of how to
Yeah.
listen to it. So
Yeah.
this is not an easy job.
No.
So I usually give you guys like a few minutes to kind of like get acclimated to it because
Okay.
it does take a minute.
Yeah.
And then I kind of see if I need to come in and help you. Again, it's not easy, but you're getting the gist.
Yeah, I'm getting the gist.
And it's every little silly thing here. You don't know it's going to be relevant, and
Right.
you definitely don't know what I'm withholding.
Yeah.
Because again, I make very
Right.
clear I'm
Yeah.
withholding shit. So that
Yeah,
way
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, I heard this. That sounds funny. I'm like, no, it's relevant.
Okay.
So, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Is your ink fresh like within the past like 6 months or something?
Yeah,
I mean,
1 month,
I was
yeah.
gonna say it looks like very clean.
Yeah, this one and this one.
Yeah.
So I noticed that when you guys walked up, wow, she's got new ink.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
New additions.
new addition.
This is, like, listen to what this sounds like. This is hard. So you're just trying to listen for little things that come through. Eliza, how did you die? Die.
That was weird. Eliza, how did you die?
talking about David.
Who's David? It's hard to differentiate between radio and noise. Because it's like I heard it, but then like you confirmed that that's what it was.
Yeah.
Is there a David? I wonder if his name is Charles David.
Comes to that for sure. What
We
do you got
asked
now?
Eliza how she died, and we heard David.
Damn this David. So, I don't know who this guy is. He keeps popping up.
Shameful reader. That was during the story.
So Simple Rear came up there, not there?
During your story.
Yeah, no, that was not hers.
That was your story of Washington and McDowell.
Okay then. What do you got going on with yours? Anything? Okay, we didn't hear anything. I heard the person out there. So, but luckily you were next to the voice recorder, so if anything was there, it was not right there. So definitely let's get those cameras running. Hannah's already got hers going. I don't know why I keep getting them too confused. I think I'd have it down by now. Yeah. Other tours, when you do pass through here, just so you guys know, they'll pop out of that ivy wall because there's a little walkway right there. So they'll come through this way, or they'll come from that end and come all the way through. When that happens, we'll kind of split the seas like what we've already done, and we would just let them go. So as he's coming into town, the coachman set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start to his stay here.
Wow.
But somebody was walking by. His name was Ralph Isaacs. This is where we stop. Ralph Isaacs has the same initials as where the doctor came from, Rhode Island. So our eye was showing up all the time on our Red Spirit boxes, so I wanted to verify it, so I bought the new Envoy. It's basically a digital Ouija board device to verify we are getting those specific letters. We're not using it tonight, but I will tell you when I am telling this part of the history of this, we've had it at least half a dozen times in the past 4 or 5 months. So it does come up, and it's not coincidental that we do get our eye when I mention Ralph Isaacs. So, anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Something's like tickling my arm. I think it's my straps or Remy. He's getting me. So you guys got me jumpy now. But anyway, come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a room from some friends of mine, and you'll be safe and good to go. Doctor took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, though, in Charleston, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He didn't want Amanda's money. He's getting his own. Amanda got wind of this, and she's moving down so they can get married. Dr. Ladd became known as the Whistling Doctor. What I'm going to tell you is that every haunted city you're ever going to visit has a cliched whistling ghost. You guys been in St. Augustine plenty of time? I'm sure there's at least 2 or 3 there as well. So we all have one. There's actual proof of this one, but we're going to get to that. I'm not just bragging. We actually have it. You're going to hopefully find it tonight. But anyway, Dr. Ladd and Ralph go see plays together. They can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He gets better seats. That's just the way the hierarchy works. They talk about these plays on the way home. They're arguing over a new actress that was in town one night from Richard III from Shakespeare, and Dr. Ladd thought the new actress was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island, and it gets very ugly, and they go their separate ways. Ralph has friends around town, as I'm sure you've already guessed, since he already took Dr. Ladd to 59 Church Street, but he goes to his friends at the newspaper. Do you have something on there that's relevant? I see chuckles. I'm like, what's going on?
It's like a nail biter. It says watch. So I'm like, reading your story or watching it.
Ralph goes to the newspaper, puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a, you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. Doctor saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueler's Alley. We're going to settle this. And it all started over an argument over an actress. So they came down. Well, a little bit. It's not swords. It's guns. It's 1786. They came down. They took their 10 paces away from each other. They turned. I called my partner that I had at the time, or I was learning about tourism and whatnot, and I told him what happened. He starts laughing. He says, you can only go down halfway, or you got to reroute the group. It's considered residential. So I said, now I know. I decided to reroute the group, but what I told my team that night was, I don't believe in the next story because I've never had anything happen there. So I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. Yeah. Before we left, somebody heard the name Anne on a spirit box. I'm like, okay. I didn't tell them who we were going to be investigating. The famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So I went, okay, holy shit. So we get over there and I told him what little bit I did know about piracy, which wasn't very much. Again, tickets were much cheaper back then when I could actually wing it. And then somebody else heard the number 300. I don't know what that means. I write it down. I'm researching the next morning. We were there November 28th of 2020, and Bonnie's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300-year anniversary of her pirate trial on my first true investigation.
That's bonkers.
Right? So now I got, well, my problem is, you guys already know what degrees I have. My problem is that pirate stories come from pirate lore. I have a master's degree in creative writing. I need facts and data in order to be able to create things logistically. So my problem is that I had to read more damn books on pirates than I ever wanted to in my entire life. So,
Was it a raccoon?
What the?
I thought it was a cat, but yeah, raccoon.
we have a lot of cats around here, so
Kitty.
maybe.
That was a raccoon.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
It was a striped tail, it was a raccoon. His name was Raccoon. But anyway, the next space we go to is a minimum of 2 different resources. So again, half my library now is all books on pirates and how to debunk things and how life actually was back then. So the other thing I need to tell you about that space and why I like to bleed over from here into there is because that is a hit or miss location. We're not going to have the EMFs that we normally saw at the 50 Mansion site, and if we get something out of the Anne Bonny story, it's either a lot or nothing. Like, that's how that space works. So the hope is that we're going to get bleed over from here as well, so that way we can actually get a little bit of support. Before we leave the space, you guys are all staring at the gate, so you guys kind of reminded me, so for those of you. There's a reason why this gate is here. So this archway, remember that I told you that the alley didn't go all the way through this way? If there was a loser to the duel going on down here, this was a shortcut to get to the cemetery on the other side of that wall.
Oh, wow.
So this is what I call the death gate. Otherwise, they'd have to go all the way down to the end of the alley, which you can see very clearly, and then double back around to be able to get to the cemetery. That's a lot of walking that weight, literally. So you guys get the point of why this wrought iron was probably put there in the early 1900s. So it's the archway, if you take a look at the very top, is actually part of the original wall. So very cool stuff. Not a whole lot of people know why that's actually there, except for my groups. I don't even remember where the hell I read it. To be honest with you, it was years and years ago when I first started doing this. So I was kind of like, I can't remember where I got the link from. But that, I call this the Death Gate, just because that's what they did. Took the dead people through it. Those of you with video cameras, we're going to exit the same way we came in, because remember, I can't take you that way, right? Because I'm not going to get yelled at by.
Just trying to figure out what the address is we're at.
Yeah, so this is
It's holy.
79.
Apparently.
Holy. Oh, well, you're first
Out of
off,
church.
yeah. Whenever we're near the church is when you guys start seeing those religious terms. So if you don't believe me, go back and look at every other investigation from the past year. So it always happens starting around here. But this is 79 Cumberland is the address of the Powder Magazine, which is what we're going to be discussing. But I'm actually going to be looking at, it's so weird because there's literally like that whole corner over there could be something going on. There's literally like 15 stories around this corner. So sometimes, even though we're going to focus on pirates, if something else pops up, like the church thing, I have to point it out or tell an additional piece of history that I know is actually true. So this is a space where we're going to spread out once I give you the history of Anne Bonny. Other tours love to cut through here. I bring us to the back because they come in through that entryway or go that way and vice versa, because that's the 2 entry points for the lot. But we're here to discuss that little tiny building over there with the crosses on it. So Californians, you can laugh at me. Those are earthquake bolts. So, let me explain to the Ohioans what earthquake bolts are. So, do you guys all know what they are? Wow.
We don't have them,
No,
so.
just stop the shaking to hold it
Right.
together.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, those giant crosses.
We just let everything fall.
on the ferry bill. I know you guys got like some new weird shimmy system thing going on or something out there. I don't know. I see a lot of
There
stuff.
are. There's so it has the game to shake.
Places that have them on rollers.
But ladies, those are earthquake bolts. So earthquake bolts are turnbuckles. So if we have another earthquake, which we haven't, like in 1886, you can turn them. It tightens the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. Great idea, doesn't work. So I bring it up because it's part of the reason of why I put it here. So those earthquake bolts specifically, those big ones, are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. The reason why is because it's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It's finished in 1713. We're here because that building is what I call a familiar. This building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny came here to start a new life. So for those of you that watch TV shows and all that stuff, you've seen them where they used a teddy bear to attract a child ghost. It's the same principle because the child would recognize the teddy bear as a plaything. You get something out of there tonight. It's very.
That was just as you were saying it. I'm going, wow. This is
Hopefully, I'm glad I gave you that device.
Kinda crazy.
It's accurate. Anything I need to know?
Well, it's funny. It said when he told his little story, it got like all red, and it said individual, and it said no. Bonnie Q was
Liar.
pissed off at you.
My name.
mad.
She's like,
Oh, but she
no.
killed my grandfather. Like, that's not cool.
All right, so again, nice slow motions. Let's get everybody spread out and let's see what we can find. Let's do this. Get you guys to work.
It got all like high and red.
Gonna stay together.
I gotta say that.
It's so hard to listen to him and listen to this.
I know. I feel like I'm not gonna have much footage on this for him though.
And what color is your hair?
And what's your dad's name?
Frank.
And where did you grow up? Is Anne's dad named Frank?
No,
I just heard Frank.
I don't know who that is. I'm
Then
gonna
when you
write it
said
down.
Anne, it sounded like Anne Frank. When you said and the dad's name Frank. Come a long way. I just heard you now belong to him.
Who belongs to Frank?
Yeah, who belongs to who?
Yeah, but you have to remember women in the early 1700s. Like when they got married, they were property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these two are cracking me up, by the way. Like normally the parents are kind of like, "Oh, the history
Oh,
was
they're
great."
into
Like
it.
they are all
I
about
love
it. I
it.
love it. All about it. Man, I got bit up.
I know.
Yeah.
I can't wait to take a shower tonight. If anybody's here, please stand in front of me.
Where in Ireland are you from, Anne?
So we went the wrong way.
how did you kill somebody when you were a young girl?
As we were walking up, and so I took a picture of the corner, but we couldn't see any numbers on the street corners to get like if there was a certain number that maybe she's got in her head or something. Kind of cool. Super, super weird.
Is she hearing anything on there?
I heard like laughing or crying. And
Wow,
it sounded,
laughing
I couldn't
or
tell.
crying?
Yeah, I couldn't tell. It sounded like it could have been either.
I want to listen.
Person, you got anything? He was right next to the damn lamppost. Yeah, this is a weird spot. So it's definitely hit or miss. I just heard that one little something out
Yeah.
there. That's pretty much it.
What you said, I heard that, but I didn't know what it was.
So it looks like your camera. Yeah, night vision.
There's somebody up in the tower. Grew up in this area? Or, so where
Originally from Ohio.
Oh, that's right. You said that.
Yeah.
And what brought you down this way? Oh,
Halfway down.
I applaud you for listening to that. It's so
Separated. I
fucking
can
hard.
Father and my uncle would go to Myrtle Beach for like 30 years to play golf. And so over the last 6 or 7 years, I've gone 4 times with them on that trip. When at the
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, my dad's more currently. We still play golf together, but we haven't been to Myrtle Beach. It was yeah, so Myrtle Beach is awesome. Right. So fly from California to play golf.
It sounded like religious music. I heard religious music, but
Oh my gosh, right before this was tire, and now it says Western.
she's got a 66 Mustang and she's getting tires done at Western, at our
Western
local
Tire.
Western Tire
And
place.
they're getting the tires in this week.
And they're very rare tires. They're like the white wall to match the 66 Mustang.
That's very weird.
That's pretty funny.
It's like, where did you bring it with you?
That's funny. I had tire in Western like right after. That's very funny. Very, very funny. That's very funny because I asked her.
I don't believe in coincidence. Like, I see this every day.
That's very funny.
Did you hear that? New leadership?
what?
New leadership?
Oh, wow. Her father passed away like 12
Yeah.
years ago.
It's hard to differentiate.
And He was in the car club, and that was their place for tires and brakes and all that kind of stuff.
Very funny though. Very.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I thought I heard. Yeah, I'm ready.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Must be a, are you ready to go?
Some-
I'm not saying much at all.
Something about being ready.
I'm just interested because you had east, western,
Wait.
I heard south.
Yeah.
We had almost all 4 directions. The only thing we're missing is what, north?
Yep.
It's funny. Why would tires come in? Why would tires
How many
For
guys?
you, not us.
That's just weird. Next to
I don't know if I'm like picking up.
next to each other.
Dad's hanging out.
Alright. I see call this one.
I would have
Not
expected
much
to pick John's, but you know.
Stop it. So you see the little switch at the very top where the red one is? Turn that the opposite way so it actually shuts off.
anything in there?
I don't know if she has.
Yours is going to record a separate audio.
That's
Now, you're gonna hang
interesting.
on the phone. This is the way it's gonna be. So yours is going to have a separate audio, so that way it's separated in the analysis, so that way you guys know exactly what it is. So this is going to be
Stuff going on there.
your volume wheel.
It's interesting
right
how it
here.
changes.
So I'll probably be doing the adjustment for you once you go under. So hang on to that.
Go under, yeah. Follow.
Figure out a little bit.
It says play because we're having fun.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
By the way, don't put any of this gear on until we come back. It looks really bad when I'm blindfolding strangers when other tourists are coming through here. Yeah, because when you see the next piece of
I'm glad I volunteered. I did.
what's funny is the next, I guess, advancement of this whole process is that instead of the blindfolds, they're creating a VR unit that actually uses a word generator and gives visionaries. So they're going to have VR units along with these, with my spirit boxes, and have this whole headgear on instead of just a flat blindfold. So your family members are going to actually help you put these on. So I'm just going to set because these are
Go for it, Brody.
yeah, not yet.
Oh, darn it.
So kind of get used to how those feel. It's only because you got to put those on after your blind.
Do we get to chat?
I'm going to take that.
I was curious with the unlost.
Oh, it's yours.
Which is?
The main
Okay.
from Phoenix.
So we're going to go over there for 5 minutes and come back. And I'm going to have to come back and give you a few tips because, again, this is going to be weird for both of you.
Okay.
So I'm going to go give them the history and then we'll be back in 5.
Sweet. Good luck.
Thanks for
That's
mentoring.
not creepy at all. Strange guy on a bench with you.
We're going to be 5 feet away from them.
I'm sure she's in good hands.
I tried to make it awkward.
I know. I love
How
that.
weird.
That's what we do.
Her favorite thing.
So I did say that I put a 12 and 16-year-old girl on that bench last night. Like their moms. I was like, all right, I'm going to put it this way so you guys can keep an eye on the girls. So yeah, I literally, they were cousins. It's not like they didn't know each other. But anyway. Yeah, the first time I came here, guys, I had no idea what to find. Again, this is a new space. I brought 2 people in here. The person using the spirit box, as soon as we entered her the year 1828, the name Henry, and I was using the word list because it was a small group, the name Tim showed up. This is Henry Timrod, born in 1828. Like, this is not shit we knew. I had to like, okay, who's Henry, kind of thing. So,
Kind of thing.
is that what it said? Kind
Said
of thing.
thing.
So here's the quick
Said play and then
skinny
thing.
of his life. He was obviously born in 1828, but being, born in that time, he was old enough to go fight in the Civil War. But he was sick through most of his life. So he goes out to fight for the Confederates, and his comrades realize he's too sick to fight. They sent him home, knowing he was also a writer, and they said, go be the voice of the war. So came home, started writing poetry about what was going on in the battlefield of the Civil War. It's a pretty big deal. He became known as the Laureate of the Confederacy. So pretty prestigious title. A few years go by, and he has a son. This is another tour walking through here, so you might want to lower that camera. Again, people get really weird. even when we go back over there, by the way, we're gonna huddle really close. I don't like to have the other tours like look like what the hell's Nick doing now kind of mentality. So we always stay really close to that. It's not so much a rivalry as it's weird. I don't have a lot of friends in this industry. But anyway, so a few years ago, he has this son. Were you on your way back to your rooms, wherever you're going, that everything was pretty legit. So first thing is blindfolds. You guys didn't even open them up. Beautiful. Cracked open. I'll take your wrappers. I don't like to leave garbage in our parks.
Nor do I. Alright, I didn't follow instructions.
So it is 2-ply. So lift up gently where the nose piece is, like right where the nose bridge is. Yep.
Sticker.
Big bit is almost there you go. If you went a little too far, but that's okay. Nope. Now there's a space where you got to rip right here.
Oh, okay.
You ripped at the opposite side. It's okay. I got another side. You're gonna have cotton in your eye.
Ripped as a part.
He's confused.
You can rip.
I should just start doing the impromptu. It's because this is usually what happens. I know.
He's confused.
I'm always dumb.
This is very funny.
Hilarious.
Yep.
I'm sure she figured her.
Oh, let me see your
Nope,
spirit
she's
box.
working on it too.
Ear holes? Ah. Close.
Very
Now I
tricky.
ripped your face.
I wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
Me neither.
It happened the same.
This is why I bring like 10 of them.
There you go. It's not the first time.
Yeah, definitely not.
It looks like Zorro.
Turn your spirit box back on for me, and then I'll set up the 2 buttons that will start recording it. I might get those earbuds in. Cost like 25 cents each.
Love that.
Family member,
That'd be
these
cool.
selfies on Mike's head for me.
Did I put the headphones in?
Yeah, earbuds in. And then I'll help you out.
Ready
I'm not gonna
for
touch your head.
Okay.
And we're gonna turn up his volume because he doesn't have any yet.
That is going to be a little tight.
Yep, that was right.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be a little snug.
I don't think it'll fit.
He's gonna have volume. He's not gonna be able to hear us anyway. He'll adjust them.
Yeah.
All right. Goes back to you. She's got volume. Good. Micah, can you hear us? Micah, can you hear us?
This is blocked.
Barely.
I missed
Can you
what
hear us?
flashed before.
Can you hear us?
Good
Can you
check.
hear us?
That was
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I can't see. Incredibly blocked.
All right.
That's
Everybody,
funny.
let's circle in. I'm gonna be on the left-hand side.
I like mine. It's funny.
Chapter 20.
All right, Shelly, come on. Let's circle on in so we're kind of hiding these
I gotta
guys.
go back to my other. There we go.
All right. It is 11:04.
Savor.
You might have to repeat what she's saying because I did.
Savor.
Savor. Okay, Henry Timrod, we are looking to speak to you tonight specifically. So if you are here, I want you to tell us what your occupation is, please. Henry Timrod, can you please come forward and communicate back with us? You can start by telling us what your occupation is. What? Last night we actually had a lot of things about sight and their lack of it.
Henry, what's your job?
Henry, can you come forward and tell us your job, please? How did you make your money?
What'd you do for work?
Shell.
Shell?
Who else do we have here with us? Can you tell us your first name, please? We're the only ones in here. We're being respectful. Please tell us your first name.
1890.
Very specific year, isn't it? It's nothing relevant to the gentleman I told you guys about. Who else is here with us? I don't think Mike knows he's supposed to be telling us what he's hearing.
He's blocked.
Somebody lift up his earmuff and tell him he's supposed to be talking. Sometimes they don't get it.
Yo, father.
You can hear it.
Yo,
You gotta tell us what you're hearing.
are you hearing anything?
It's just like FM radio going.
Tell me all the voices you hear.
Attendance.
Here we go. Keep it going.
All right, so
Just
gotcha.
like that. Sometimes they don't get it, especially if they didn't work with that spirit box all night.
Past.
Who's passed?
Amplifiers.
Who else do we have here with us?
Anthony.
I don't know who Anthony is. Do you know who Anthony is? Because we had Shell show up already, so I assumed it was you. Who else do we have
worked.
here? If Henry Timrod is here, we would like for you to come forward specifically. Tell us what you would like to talk about tonight, whether it be your family, your work, how you died. We're going to let you lead the way tonight.
Want rapist.
Yikes. That's scary.
She heard something. She just
Yeah,
telling
why
us what
is
it is.
why is this talking?
Did you know there are actually people?
Yeah, we know you're all here. We're trying to talk to you. You got a channel through the two people with the blindfolds on, please. They can hear you. Can you tell us your first name if you are not Henry Timrod?
Ladies and gentlemen, the last
Where's this at?
Debate?
I created the heavens.
Oh, that debate. Back to debate. All right.
Uh-huh.
Evil luck.
There's the debate. I created the heavens, evil luck.
Get us out of here.
No, we're not leaving just yet. We've only been under for 5 minutes. Let's go with something around us. Can you tell us what church we're near? What's the big white church across the street from us? Or what sound?
Barbecue critique.
They don't do barbecues there.
W man.
Point. Point for that one.
Help them fly.
Tell us the name of the church across the street, or maybe the sound that we get out of the church.
I didn't hear what she
Did you
said.
say tomb?
Maybe.
2 or 2?
Yeah.
2?
We'll have to ask when she comes
Yeah.
out. Tomb is relevant. 2 is not.
Yeah.
Okay. Competitive.
Yes, we are here every night, Henry. I'm trying to teach people about your life and your work.
Now you had me.
I did just hear some Judas Priest, which was pretty cool.
Behavioral.
What?
Lord Jesus Christ.
Did she hear us laughing?
Yeah, you might want to turn that up a little bit. We don't want her to hear us at all.
Yeah.
Don't scare her.
I scared her.
Too
Yeah,
much?
Too much. Henry Timrod, can you come forth and tell us what happened to your son? Maybe how old he was when he passed away? Anything specific about him?
This is very loud.
3rd annual military. Guns N' Roses.
Father.
Casket.
In my heart.
Henry, do you want to tell us how you died specifically? Can you give us the disease that you died from?
Get out of my parents' home.
Rim.
4. $1 billion in taxes.
Henry, tell us how you died.
Drain.
Henry, let's go back to making it simple. Tell us your occupation, please.
On the phone, what's your question?
The question is, what is your job? How did you make your money? It's very quiet in here tonight, Henry. The only ones here. Henry, you came in with respect. Told these folks about a little bit about your life.
Our
and
Heart Radio Access.
I need you to fill in the blanks.
Considered righteous.
We're down to 1 minute, Henry. Last chance. You can feel free to
Grace.
answer any of the questions that I've asked tonight. Your occupation, your wife, your son. Who does 1890 refer to?
Prayer warriors.
I think about the church. Wow, she's been pretty quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Is it turned down too low, maybe?
She can hear it.
Yeah, burn.
Together.
Burned together.
That's not cool.
No.
Nope. Well, whoever was here, can you give us a number of how many of you are here before we close
Kyrie
this up?
Irving.
How many of you are actually here before we shut this down? Next level.
Relief.
The number I normally get with that question is 5. Just looking
From
for
your
consistency.
wounds.
Henry, how many of you are here? How many of us are there? I'll take that as a respectable answer.
Total depression.
And a whole lot of nothing. Especially since she went completely quiet. Let's go ahead and tap them on the leg. Let's get them tapped out.
You just put a thumb
What do I do?
You can't see them.
You're done.
And
Yeah, I'm good.
all right. So first off, how do you feel? Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes it could be disorienting.
Well, it was at the beginning, but that's at the beginning I was trying to relax and like take it all in, and
You took quite a few deep breaths. Just
Yeah.
to stop yours to make sure we have a perfect recording. So don't get up. Because sometimes when you think you feel fine, you get up and you're a baby giraffe on the ground. Unsuccessful at this point. So nothing that was super like, oh my god, we had a direct answer to anything.
right.
I did try to pull teeth a little bit. Like, you got very quiet the last 3 to 4 minutes of it. How long do you think you guys were under, by the way?
I have no idea.
7 minutes.
It's almost 11.
Okay.
So it's pretty close to that 11 minute.
Yeah. And I was probably erring on the larger side. So.
Most people will report that they felt like they were under for about 2 to 3 minutes. So that's usually about the average. You guys can stop your videos at this
It's
point.
11 minutes. That's crazy.